All right, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Nikkei Olabisi Green, and I am the creator and chief movement leader at Nola Movement. At Nola Movement, we believe that when women are well from the inside out, we can change the world. And I am honored to serve that big mission as a mindset and accountability coach. I also create high energy spaces and movement classes, workshops, and retreats. And so today I'm super, super honored to be with one of my absolute favorite women in my community. And all of my women are my favorite. I actually love everybody that I work with, but I truly love working with Habeebah. She is a community leader and really someone who has gotten to experience the breadth of work that we offer at Nola Movement. So from coaching and retreats and workshops, all of the things. And so I'm honored to just have a few minutes of her time to share with you all a little bit about her experience and why she continues to show up for all of the things that we're doing at Nola Movement. Hey, Habeebah.
Hi, thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you. How are you feeling today? How's your day going?
I'm feeling pretty good, and you're a bright light. So when I get to be in a shared space with you, like the energy lift is always appreciated.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I feel the same. I feel the same. I feel smarter every time I'm in your presence. Like I feel the well
Oh,
of wisdom that's deep within you. And so I'm like, yes.
it's a relationship of mutuality. So
Mhm.
I'm honored and humbled to be able to pour into you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So let's jump in because you are someone you've done a little bit of everything that we have at NOLA Movement. And so my first question to you is if you could just think back and remember um, where were you before saying yes to workshops and retreats and coaching? Where were you, and what do you think really called you into this work and into this community?
Yeah, so I encountered your work um, in the online space initially. And I had been following your husband, Archie Green's mental health prevention work, and was like, this brother is dope. He's right here in Cleveland. Like, this is good. And then y'all got married. And I'm like, who's this beautiful lady? And I started following your work after realizing you two were a pair and such a brilliant and inspired pair of leaders here in the community. So I wanted to get involved just from the outside looking in, just being inspired by you both. When I decided to start saying yes to stepping into shared spaces, I had a chance to meet you and do a Zumba class with our dear friend Zoe Brown. And I was again, like this lady is amazing. And the energy and spirit that you bring, the warmth, I was needing that in my life. And I was at the time too trying to figure out what I needed to support me. I had stepped into a new role, a role of leadership, formal leadership inside of nonprofit with a lot of responsibility and a lot of sense of like just a deep sense of concern for my own well-being, taking on what I knew was a massive responsibility in leading an organization, a nonprofit, serving young people. So I had already started thinking about what do I need to support me. I got involved with a therapist. I made some changes around my primary care provider. And when I met you, I thought, I want to start working with Nikkei too. And it brought about this construct for me of like, this is a constellation for me of care. This is like this network of really deeply studied, deeply practiced women and women of culture who are out here not only seeking to change conditions for themselves and those that they are most proximate to, but they're trying to make a change for the community and the society at large. So there was just all this resonance in your mission, your work, and my own needs that kind of crystallized all at the same time. And what I knew was I needed to invest in myself if I was going to be well as a leader. And I knew I had to do that with intent. And I'm grateful for that wisdom that the creator placed in me, because that meant step into these spaces and share in some of these experiences.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I don't even think I knew that story, honestly, like that the connecting dots of how
Right.
you came into this space. So I'm so grateful. I have some people that I need to thank, even just hearing that. And you touched on so many beautiful things. This idea of constellation of care, which you've spoken to, and I think is such a powerful way to think about how we care for ourselves. Like the word self-care now is something that's being thrown around, and that in reality it's so much deeper than like getting our hair and nails done. And while that's really important, right, and I believe, and I think we both do, the people that are working on your physical body are important, and calling in support, and calling in support that's aligned with who you are and who you want to become, especially as a leader, especially as a Black woman in America, especially as a Black woman leader in America, that it is so, so important. And so again, I'm honored that I get to support you and that I get to be a piece of how you practice meaningful self-care. That's so beautiful. And again, I just think that's a powerful word for women that are listening. If you're listening and you're a leader, this is exactly like, I'm calling you into like that next level self-care for yourself, because that's really how you can really show up and lead the organization where you're at. And I think what's so amazing, Habeebah, is, and I think you would agree, is like as leaders, it's not only that you're leading an organization, you're still like CEO of home. So it's
That's right.
like, it's like there are actually other folks, like a whole ecosystem happening and
Yep.
home, that you're also like managing and taking care of, and making sure folks get dropped off and picked up, and birthdays are celebrated, and all the things that have to happen. And so putting in and investing is the word that I heard you use. Investing in your self-care is so, so important. So you have gotten to experience workshops and retreats. What would you say after maybe an experience like the retreat, the different retreats that we've done together? What would you say? Why would you say those are important from you? Which is a little bit different than I think the one-on-one work and even the group coaching work that happens. But what would you say is the experience that you can appreciate having after you come home from the retreats?
One of the things that's really clear to me is that we heal in community.
Mhm.
And I'm a practitioner leader, so my background is in the care of the community, the young people in our community, the depth of knowledge that I've acquired through my professional life to understand what's happened to folks and what's happening with us as we try to live a whole life and flourish. And so being in community with other women, there was an intuitive wisdom in me that was calling me into those spaces. I knew I needed feminine energy in my life, maybe because I'm in a household of male energy with my husband and my two sons. But there was just a pull to be in community with women. And you curated such beautiful experiences that kind of really tap in to the brain and its biology and all of the intellectual things that I understood about how I would be able to stay well, how I would heal, because even as we're trying to stay well, things are happening.
Mhm.
And so being in community with other women was super supportive, and also created an environment of accountability and that shared experience of kind of vulnerably talking through what are some of the barriers to my dreams, giving myself permission to dream. The first space I think I was in with you was a virtual space, and beyond the dance, which is essential, movement is essential,
Mhm.
but in a shared space of just communicating with other women about what I was needing, I needed space to dream. I needed to be able to look out and see a future that was fuller than what life in a pandemic was offering.
Mhm.
And so that community to share vulnerably, and also to kind of put some things out there that I was imagining or wanting for myself, and have these other women around me for a period of time to say, we remember you said that in the most loving and gentle of ways, just being a nudge just through their presence to stay focused on the things that I wanted for myself.
That's so good. So good. You know, you're really speaking to all of the pillars of NOLA movement, which are movement, mindset, and community. And that is absolutely one of, you know, again, I really am calling forward women who are in alignment with who I am and with NOLA movement. And so healing in community is how we heal. It's how we have always survived and how we thrive. And so being able to create community spaces, especially for women, whether it's through the book club, which has a different feel, right, than like a coaching group or even a retreat group, but creating those spaces for us to come together just to be able to like recognize one another. I think in our culture now, we're so used to, you walk around and people are literally, they will have their cell phones up in front of their face and you will not see someone and people will not speak. And so, you know, when you talk about the intentionality that I bring, I'm so intentional. I'm like, I want you to know one another's names, what we are dreaming, what like, you know, what's stressing me out, where I work at, so that if something goes down or something happens, that we can see one another and we know one another, even if we've only met at a book club or even if we've only met at a retreat and it was 6 months ago, right? I want us to have that sense of community in a time where I think we're more hungry for it than ever because of the barriers that technology has put up. Technology is amazing on so many hands, but the barriers that are also created there. I love creating in-person spaces where we can bring some of those barriers down. So just 2 more questions for you. I would ask you, what do you feel like has changed in your life since stepping into this work? So, you know, you spoke to a couple things already, like dreaming, just bringing in more of that feminine energy in your life. You know, what would you say has shifted for you in a way that is like it's set, like it's not, you know, you very clearly know, like before NOLA movement and since and after, like this is how I move, this is how I like navigate, or this is, you know, whether it's like a belief or whatever it is, but what would you say maybe is 1 or 2 things that have shifted in you since stepping into this work?
I think the first would be an ability to just see a trajectory for myself. You know, there's so many times I think that we are so head down, focused on what is today. And to the point of dreaming, we haven't been granted permission, especially if we are in Black and brown bodies as women. We haven't been given permission to dream. We've only seen perhaps what others see for us as possible. And so I love being able to look out at my life professionally, relationally, in relationship to my husband and my children, in relationship to my friendships and how I recreate, right? The things I do for joy. I'm able to look out with more of an attitude of abundance at the trajectory of my life. I'm not just only focused on what is in the here and now, but imagining what might be possible. And then I think the other thing that has been a shift for me is celebrating. Like you plant the seed to celebrate, big seed, little seed, all the celebrations that we can imagine. You really give us as your community permission to celebrate, and that for me was not a priority before meeting you. It was like, well, you know, yes, I'm working hard. That's what I'm supposed to do. Yes, there's this achievement. You know, now let's keep it moving. Let's move on to the next thing. And taking a moment to celebrate. And for me, that also means like connecting with my ancestors and being present with the healing that's occurring because I'm healing. So, getting that little bouquet of flowers for my altar at home is both a celebration of the fact that I'm here and breathing and moving through the weeks and days, and I get to take in this joy, and I get to celebrate and venerate my ancestors. And then there's these, big things we get to do, like vacations. I don't know if I would have took a family vacation if not for you last year. Just that accountability to like get out there and celebrate with your family. You've done so many good things.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing that for me has shifted, is moving away from, well, of course you got to do these hard things, to, wow, girl, look at you. You did these hard things. And it's amazing.
Oh my gosh. I want to like run a church lap around this room right because yeah, yes, because of all the things and all the things that I'm thinking about, that I'm celebrating for you, that I am like remembering, and just so thrilled for you and all the things that you are dreaming of and creating and becoming. And it's again, I really use the word with such intention. It is my honor. It is my honor just to get to bear witness. And I feel like our ancestors are just like, yes, like so much joy, just in that we are expanding in the way that we are. And so I'm so thrilled for you, and love that you are carrying on that celebration. I love that. So last question, what would you say to a woman leader who right now is feeling like she's in chaos, feeling like work is on 10,000, home is on 10,000, and she's able to show up with a smile on her face, but inside she is drowning and she does not know what she needs. What advice would you give her if she is watching this video, and thinking about coming to a retreat, or thinking about coaching, or thinking about just even like taking a baby step into the Nola Movement community? What would you offer her in this moment?
My first suggestion is carve out some space, as little as 15 minutes, as you've taught me, to breathe and be. Quiet your mind as best you can, regulate your nervous system as best you can, and really ask, what do I need in order to do more than survive? So many of us are in survival mode day to day. I think women leaders often find ourselves in feeling pretty isolated. We find ourselves feeling a lot of stress, and we find ourselves often being in environments where there's a whole lot of need and intense need, including our homes. So protecting the space to just get quiet is another learning that I've taken from our time together. And I will say, from my experience, if you even have an inkling that you want to be in community with Nola Movement, with Nikkei Olabisi Green, just do it. There are pathways to engage, regardless of your financial needs. You have multiple points of access for women in the community to be in community and under your leadership and under your guidance. So I feel, if you're even thinking about it, that's your cue, and just quiet down that nervous system enough to hear the call that is drawing you in, and then step in.
I love that. That is such like on point advice. And I just want to thank you for your time and your energy today, and for just sharing your light with women who are seeking community and space. Ladies, I really couldn't have said it better. And without Habeebah even knowing, she set me up, because I have a gift for you. If you are watching, the first thing that she offered. If you are seeking and you're going through chaos right now, take a moment. And so the gift that I want to offer for you, it's going to be in the comments, in the link below. Just click whatever's below here. I want to offer and gift to you my future self meditation. This is a meditation that Habeebah and I have done a few times live. You've probably done it recorded, but this is literally the meditation that I lead women who work with me. I lead them through this, and it's how we start the Plant Your Seeds workshop. But I want to gift it to you because I believe we already have so much wisdom inside of us. It's just getting quiet. And so if you are a mom, if you are a leader, if you need to find a closet, if you need to close your office door, put up a sign, I don't care what it is, take that 15 minutes of do not disturb, play this meditation, and just allow yourself to breathe and be. And if that meditation serves and supports you, I want to offer a 15-minute rapid fire coaching call. We get to connect. I want to hear how I can support you and how and if that meditation served you. So click below. That is my gift for you today. Habeebah, thank you for your time and energy. I'm so grateful for you. For my ladies that are watching, push play on the meditation below, and I look forward to serving you in person, virtually, in the Nola Movement community. All right, peace.